Aloha. Wonderful seeing you today. Very groovy. If we are in tune, G, C, E, A, G, C, E, A. When we play our third finger on the third fret and play the C, E, and G, we get a triad. More importantly, this C is another C note. We have two C notes. These are called octaves. C, 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 D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, C major. When we play a D minor, we put our finger on the F, we put our finger on the A. It looks just like an F major, but then we put our third finger on the D note. That gives us this, or we can play this and squish these two. Either way, we can move this up to play an E minor, but then we have this pesky note, which is why I teach how to do teeter-totters, where you replace some of your fingers and play with a different set of fingerings. So you can move up and then bar. There are only a couple different bar types, and I'm going to show you those at the end of this session. Once again, C major, D minor. We have an E minor, which we can scoot this up and play the one string we weren't playing. Or we could just play what this chord looks like without that pinky or without that ring finger. It's just an awful weird way to play it, considering most people learn how to play the E minor this way. However, I like to play it this way, so I can put this finger down for another note up. E minor, however, 2, 3, 4, A string, E string, C string, and leave the G open. Our 4 chord, C major, D minor, E minor, is F major. It's just like our 2 chord, except now we don't have to put down our finger for the D. It's just F-A-C, F major. After that, I move my finger from the F note to the D so I could go up top and play the D and the B, and then wrap my third finger, the ring finger, around for that 3rd fret on the E string. This is our G major, beautiful little triangle thing here. Now, today we learn how to move our G major so we can make a G minor. I'm also going to talk about sonority or tonality of our triads at the end of this video. But to complete C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished. B diminished is also called a G7. And we'll talk about this later in a different video, different session. But these are all 7 chords of the key of C major. Go ahead and play them with me. Stop the video and then jump back on. We're going to play these. C major. 3 more beats, then we're going to go to D minor. 3, 4. Remember when strumming, we're going to use our fingernails. Here comes the E minor. To test the quality of a chord, I use my thumb and pull each note down in rhythm. When I want to play or strum downstrokes or quarter notes, I generally use my first finger and then use the fingernail. However, you can use any finger to get that loud sound. Dare I say even the pinky. I just use them all at the same time. It's called rake picking, and then, or rake strumming, plectrum strumming. When going through your 7 chords like this, try to keep the rhythm and move from one chord to the other. That's the whole point. You don't really want to have broken rhythms, which means if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're defeating the purpose. What we want to do is go slow enough that we can move from one chord to another and anticipate it, and then be ready for the next chord. That's the whole point of sight reading, so we know that G7, or B diminished, F major, and C major sound great together. We're gonna learn a whole bunch of chords so we can fill out a little more sound. Otherwise, just bear in mind you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Try and work on the C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. in addition to just the chords of C major, we learned a couple chords from the key of F major. So that's what I'm going to show you today, because one of the songs on my way is in the key of F. How do we know that? F major has one flat. That flat is B flat, not a B natural, B flat. So when we play a B flat, we play an F, we play a D, and we play a B flat, because these two notes are unison notes, perfect primes. We get a B flat. And the reason why this shouldn't be too weird is because you are simply playing what looks like an A major a step up. Now A major looks like this, F major looks like this. All of these chords that we're learning can be played in different fingerings, so they can be moved up and played as bar chords. Cool? So one of the cool things we would learn is how one single finger holds a note, and we're generally doing a pointing. When we play a half bar, we have two strings being pressed down flatly. When we have a partial bar, we have three strings. And when we have a full bar, we have all four strings being barred down. B-A-R-R-E. So when we play a B flat major, we can remember that it is nothing more than an A sharp. But we can't just leave these two strings open. They were open, now they have to be closed at the first fret. So we take our first finger off, secondary finger goes to where the first was, third comes on the fretboard, moving on up, and then bar this with one finger. If you don't like that feeling of the bar by putting your finger in the back here, yeah, you can take your whole finger and bar it. It's just a little harder, and I try to influence everybody doing these a couple different ways in the beginning. So F major, when it goes to its next chord, it's not F major to G major because we have a minor second. And it would be silly to move this finger back this way, as we discussed. So in a G major, if we kept our finger on the G note and replaced our B note with our middle finger, we then can take our first finger and put it on the B flat. That B flat, G, and D gives us a G, B flat, D. Different than a G, B, D, a G, B flat, D has a flattened median, making F major, the chord, very smooth transition, just going right there. Boop. F major, G minor. You know the minor third, it's A minor. It's the same thing that it was in the key of C, but now it's not the minor 6, it's the minor 3. B flat major is our major 4. We can scoot this up a whole step to play a C, or you can just play Old Faithful. Either way, you now know two ways to play C major. Coolness. After C, we're going to have a D minor. You already know D minor because it is the minor second in the key of C. Do you understand that by learning one key signature, it helps you to learn another? And you only really need to learn 4 or 5 until you get almost all the chords. Awesomeness. Lastly, after our diminished, after our minor is our diminished. Now, we just played the B flat and the rest of them open, and what we get is a chord called a C7, or a C7 is otherwise known as an E diminished. So just like in the key of C major, we had C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C. In the key of F, we have F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, E diminished, and then F again. We're gonna do a review on these as well. I'm going to send you 2 songs. I'm going to send you Camptown Races, and then I'm going to send you On My Way. I hope you enjoy both of those. Take them easy and slow. Pause the videos when you need to. And if you have any questions, bring it to my attention next week. And remember, you're here to audit me as a teacher. So if you don't like the way I'm doing something, tell me. I'll change it up. There's a million ways we can learn how to teach and a million ways we can learn how to learn. By you auditing what I'm doing, it helps me to become a more effective facilitator of education. Anyway, it's good seeing you. We'll see you soon. Aloha.